If there were ever a moment when the delusion of Meghan Markle's faux royal reinvention met a brick wall of brutal American honesty, it was when comedian and cultural commentator Tim Dillon unleashed an unfiltered barrage on her laughable new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, during an appearance on the Megyn Kelly Show. In one of the most searing, unapologetically candid takedowns the Duchess of Delusion has faced yet, Dillon didn't mince words, labeling her a huckster, America's greatest con artist, and ridiculing her supposed comeback with the biting critique. Worst brand ever, it should be called as never. And you know what? He's not wrong. In fact, he might be the only person in Hollywood brave enough to say what the rest of us already suspect. Meghan Markle's latest venture isn't branding, it's grifting in full bloom. Let's cut through the curated Instagram filters and monogram jam jars and address the real issue here. Meghan Markle has, time and time again, attempted to sell the world a version of herself that simply doesn't exist. From her days as a Z-list actress on Suits to her brief stint as a working royal, Markle has demonstrated an unparalleled ability to repackage failure as victimhood, disloyalty as bravery, and self-interest as activism. American Riviera Orchard is not a lifestyle brand, it's a monument to Meghan's ego, yet another desperate grasp for relevance cloaked in the language of authenticity and wellness. Tim Dillon's scathing description of her as a con artist is not only cutting, it's disturbingly accurate. Let's remember, this is the same woman who, alongside her equally out-of-touch husband Prince Harry, signed massive media deals with Spotify and Netflix only to produce laughably little. Their Spotify deal was unceremoniously terminated after Meghan's podcast, Archetypes, managed just one underwhelming season. Even Spotify's own executive, Bill Simmons, called the pair ing grifters. So when Dillon says she's a huckster, it's not satire, it's sound analysis. What makes this latest brand rollout especially offensive is how insulting it is to the intelligence of the public. American Riviera Orchard launched not with a product, not with a mission statement, but with a pretentious Instagram video showing Meghan swirling around a lavish estate in a designer gown, slow-motion clips of her picking flowers, and a logo so bland it could have been whipped up on Canva by a college intern. There was no vision, no clarity, no purpose. Just vibes. In an era where authenticity matters, Meghan offers nothing but empty aesthetic and expects applause for it. And let's not forget the grand irony here. Meghan Markle has spent years railing against the British royal family and the toxic media culture, yet her every move is a masterclass in calculated image manipulation. She escaped the monarchy to supposedly find freedom, but now dresses like Grace Kelly, speaks in platitudes like a TED Talk reject, and launches a lifestyle brand that reeks of pseudo-aristocratic fantasy. If she despised the monarchy so much, why does her every aesthetic decision scream wannabe Duchess on Etsy? Dillon's as never quip lands with tragic accuracy. Because what exactly is American Riviera Orchard promising that we've never seen before? Jams? Teas? Tableware? This is the same tired Goop meets Kardashian playbook. And yet, Meghan believes she's offering the world something revolutionary. Because in her mind, she's not just selling goods. She's selling herself as the ultimate aspiration. The problem is, America isn't buying it. Let's also not ignore the exclusivity stunt she pulled by sending jars of homemade jam to a curated clique of influencers and minor celebrities like fashion designer Tracy Robbins. Yes, jars of jam. As if Meghan were Marie Antoinette handing out congealed strawberry spread while the peasants' sorry public wait to see what this vanity project actually sells. The message was clear. This brand is not for you. It's for her elite circle, for the coastal influencers who will pretend to find meaning in artisanal marmalade while the rest of the world rolls its eyes. And what of the timing? Meghan's sudden return to the spotlight with this brand launch just so happens to coincide with her increasing irrelevance in public discourse. The Markle fatigue is real, and even the liberal media that once championed her as a feminist underdog are quietly backing away. With American Riviera Orchard, she's trying to rewrite the narrative. Not through meaningful work or public service, but through lemon curd and linen napkins. It's not reinvention. It's repackaging failure in floral script. Tim Dillon's brutal roast isn't just funny. It's necessary, because it pierces through the performative nonsense that surrounds Meghan Markle and exposes her for what she truly is. A product of branding, not substance. Someone who has built an entire public identity on being perceived rather than being understood. She is the epitome of the Instagram age. Filters over facts, aesthetics over action, and virtue signaling over veracity. What Dillon and Megyn Kelly accomplished in that moment of cultural critique was offer the antidote to the never-ending stream of sycophantic praise that Markle often receives from those too afraid to admit the emperor has no clothes. They reminded us that media narratives are manufactured, and that it's okay, even necessary, to call out hypocrisy when it struts around in Valentino heels. It's worth noting that Markle's grift would be far less dangerous if it were merely about selling overpriced jam. But this is a woman who wrapped herself in social justice rhetoric, claimed to be a victim of institutional oppression, and then tried to monetize that identity at every turn. Whether it was her race, her mental health, or her royal trauma, every hardship was rebranded as content. Every personal struggle became a podcast bullet point. Every grievance was a business plan. Now, she wants us to buy into the myth that American Riviera Orchard is her new chapter. But like all her past ventures, her blog The Tig, her failed media empire, her evaporating Spotify deal, this brand appears to be nothing more than another mirage. A castle made of lavender oil and charcuterie boards. The American public is waking up. They're tired of being sold fairy tales from people who've never lived in the real world. They're tired of celebrity brands that pretend to uplift while only serving the egos behind them. And they're certainly tired of Meghan Markle's never-ending metamorphosis from royal rebel to podcast philosopher to now a barefoot duchess in the garden. Tim Dillon saw through it. He said what needed to be said. He exposed the joke, and unfortunately for Meghan, she's the punchline.